As many of you probably already heard, there was a plane crash in Nepal. So, of course, I had to do a decode on this because, if you guys have been watching my videos, I was pretty much talking about plane crashes for the last, couple weeks. And so, yeah, let me explain to you what I think this is all about. There's a lot of angles you can look at on everything, really. You can look at everything with many different angles, but let me break down to you what I think is the ritual here and how it's tied to, the power outages that I believe are coming, and also the whole narrative of the Satan falling from heaven narrative. So that being said, if you guys remember, on the 11th of January, we had a malfunction in the system of the Federal Aviation Administration, and they had to ground all domestic flights for the first time since 9/11/2001. And that's a huge clue, guys, that this year could be the opportunity for another big type of an event like 9/11. And again, I think it might involve planes again, just like 9/11 involved planes. But also, don't think it was a coincidence that flights were able to resume at 9 a.m. on the 11th, okay? So there you go, you have your 9/11 again. So anyway, that happened on the 11th, and then 2 days after that, on the 13th, we had the movie called Plane. As you guys can see here, it's a movie called Plane, where a lightning strike forces the plane to make a landing on an island. So again, guys, there's this symbolism of this lightning and this plane, and I'm gonna bring it all together here in a little bit. But do not think it's a coincidence that 2 days before that movie comes out, you have all domestic flights being grounded, and then 2 days after that movie comes out, you have 72 people dying in an airplane in Nepal. And I just want you guys to notice that not only did 72 people die, but the plane was an ATR 72 plane. So in this one article, you have the 72 right in your face twice. And again, whenever you see something like this in a news article, you obviously know there's something here with the number 72. And I'm going to show you what I think the 72 is all about. So just a few hours before this plane crash happened, there was a football game going on between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. And I want you guys to notice that the Chargers have the lightning bolt again. And they're from LA. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. So you have the lightning bolt team that loses 31-30. And remember, this movie that came out on the 13th was about a lightning strike taking down a plane. And then you had this plane going down just hours after the lightning bolt team, the Chargers, lose. So again, this plane and lightning theme seems to be very prominent here. And the Chargers didn't just lose, they lost because they gave up 27-point deficit. So they were ahead by 27 points. And then the Jaguars came back and beat them. So to me, this is symbolic. The Chargers losing is kind of like the lightning being cast down. Satan falling like lightning down. You know what I mean? So again, I'm going to talk about that more in a minute, but it's just very clear that the Chargers giving up the lead and losing is very symbolic of lightning being cast down, just like Satan, okay? And remember, guys, that movie that came out was just called Plane. And just notice that movie's name and the place where this airplane crash occurred 2 days later after the movie, Nepal, is a direct match in all four of the ciphers. And when you get a direct match in 4 ciphers like this, it's not a coincidence, especially because the movie came out only 2 days before this plane crash in Nepal happened. And it's a direct match in all 4 ciphers. And as regards to the lightning, we know that the word lightning equals 55, which is a huge number on itself, because not only does lightning equal 55, but Satan equals 55. And in the verse in Luke 10:18, it's Satan that Jesus sees falling like lightning and they both equal 55. And the place where this plane crash occurred was nearest to the city Pokhara, Nepal, which also equals 55, just like lightning. So again, just like that movie called Plane, where the lightning bolt takes it down, it's not a coincidence that this plane goes down nearest a city that matches lightning with the 55. And again, the lightning team lost only a few hours before this plane goes down. And if you guys know the Bible, you know the verse Luke 10:18, where it says, "And he said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." And then he goes on and says, "Behold, I give you the authority to trample on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall be by any means hurt you." So he says that he saw Satan falling, okay? But then he goes on and he's talking to somebody. And who is he talking to, guys? Well, he's talking to, because earlier on that chapter, the name of the chapter is called Jesus Sends Out the 72. So what are the chances that there's 72 people on this plane? I already tied this crash in with Satan, and this whole chapter of Luke 10 is about 72 being sent out by Jesus. And then it's got, in that same chapter, it's got Satan falling like lightning. And again, this plane is a direct match to the city where the plane crashed is a direct match to lightning. And again, guys, there was 72 people on the plane, just like Jesus sending out the 72. And don't forget, the plane was a ATR-72 plane as well. So that is why I think the 72 is being used here, because it's going right along with the lightning theme from Satan, because it's in the same chapter as you guys can see here. It's just, this is verse 18, and the chapter starts out with him appointing the 72. And why is it happening in Nepal? Well, I think this is probably the reason, guys, because Nepal has 8 of the world's 10 largest tallest mountains, okay? So just try to see the symbolism here. They have the 8 of the 10 tallest mountains in the world, including the highest point on Earth, which is Mount Everest. And Mount Everest, being the highest point, is where Satan would fall from, right? Again, this is all about the fall. You know, Satan setting himself up high in the highest place, and then him being cast down. So why is a plane falling in the country with the highest point on Earth? That's because it's referencing the fall of Satan from the highest place, right? And so I think it's very clear, and to me it's very clear that this is all about that symbolism. And the just thing I found is that the original Tibetan word for Mount Everest was actually meant Holy Mother, which I'm going to show you why I think that's important, because I believe that just hours before this plane crash, you had Rihanna debuting her teaser video for her Super Bowl commercial, her Super Bowl halftime show that she's going to be performing. And just notice the dark symbolism here. First of all, it looks like she has a 6 on top of her head, and then it kind of goes off and it looks like snakes, like the serpent, right? Like Satan. And so basically, Rihanna is the symbol of the mother birthing the Antichrist. So you guys remember that Rihanna had a baby and it was a big thing, but she never actually gave the name of the baby. And so she just had that birth, and she hasn't put out any music for like 6 years. So it's interesting that even in this video they mention 6 years, and her hair even has a 6 on top of it. You know, look at that very top part, guys. It looks like a 6. And then it kind of goes off into looking like a snake. So that's why I told you that the Holy Mother, it's all about the mother birth here, but this time it's the dark mother birthing the Antichrist. That's why I believe they chose Rihanna, because she's dark-skinned, okay? So to me, it's just about this dark symbolism, this power outage, this darkness, okay? And the reason I'm going to verify that is because I'm going to bring in the WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. You guys remember I told you in my prior videos that WWE is having a match on January 28th. It's called the Pitch Black match. This is the first of its kind, and it's between Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. And on the 13th, the same day the Plane movie came out, Bray Wyatt did a speech under just one single light, and he said this. He said, at the Royal Rumble, which is on the 28th, it will be my true rebirth. Again, tying back to this Rihanna and her birth. Birthing the Antichrist, okay? And it says, Bray Wyatt says, this will be my true rebirth. And then he says, it'll be a baptism in the dark. And then right after this, guys, he says, he's talking to LA Knight, the other guy he's going to be facing. He says, LA Knight, when the lights go out, you better run. So again, guys, you might want to go watch this movie. It's really dark, and it's just so clear. They're telling you what's going to come. That when the lights go out and everyone freaks out, you're going to not want to... A lot of people are going to freak out. It's not going to be a good time. And it's going to remind me of the Purge movies. But anyways, Bray Wyatt saying this, and the way he says it, you know, again, he says, when the lights go out, you better run. And he's going to call his rebirth a baptism in the dark. Okay? So let's kind of bring all this together with the 72s. Because as you guys are going to see here in the Gematria, there's a lot of matches here, but I want you guys really to focus on the middle column in the reduction cipher, the blue cipher, the dark blue. Notice that when Bray Wyatt says a baptism in the dark, it equals 72. Remember, there was 72 people on this plane. And remember, Jesus sends out the 72. And also notice that power grid attack is a direct match in two ciphers to a baptism in the dark. And again, I don't think that's a coincidence because, again, he says when the lights go out, you better run. And they're telling us, they're telling us really obviously what this is all about. And another interesting thing, guys, is that Lucifer returns also equals 72. And Rihanna returns equals 72. Along with the Beast of Revelation equals 72. So we have all these things coming together with the 72, and you have this plane with 72 people coming down. Don't forget that the secret society, the Jesuit order, equals 72. So this number is huge, and it's been huge. Remember back in December when Franco Harris, who made a catch in the Immaculate Conception, just like, again, referring to the birth, and he made that catch in 1972. And if you guys go back and watch my videos on that, it was all about the 72. And so now this 72 is coming up again, and I don't think it's a coincidence. Also, guys, if you go to the septenary cipher, interesting connection is that cast down Satan equals 44, like airplane crash and like the number 72 typed out. And that's to go along with lightning, which in the original reverse reduction cipher also equals 44. Okay? So you got the 44s. And I just want to give a shout out right now to Joseph Aquaviva 222 on YouTube. He talks a lot about Obama. And so now I'm going to talk about Obama because this is the video he did today about the airplane crash. So go check him out. He does a very good job at always tying Obama to this Antichrist ritual. And remember, guys, Obama had a lightning strike on his birthday at the White House. Again, the lightning theme. And remember, Obama's born on the day leaving 149 days left in the year. And if you watch my prior videos, lightning bolt equals 149. And again, there was a lightning bolt strike on Obama's birthday. And remember, guys, Barak, well, I'll show you that in a minute, but I'll show you that now. Hold on. Barak means lightning in Hebrew. So again, what's the chances there's a lightning strike on his birthday at the White House? He was the number 44 president. Lightning equals 44. And his name, Barak, in Hebrew means lightning. And I just wanted to point out, just like Joseph did in his video, that the crashed into Seti River Gorge. The direct match in 3 ciphers to the Jesuit order. Okay? But I want you guys to focus on the 201 here, because this plane crash happened 201 days before Obama's birthday. And remember, it landed in the Seti River Gorge, which equals 201. And remember, Obama's birthday is August 4th, just like Seti River Gorge equals 84. Okay? And that's when the lightning strike happened on his last birthday. And again, guys, Barak means lightning. So again, guys, I think that's all I'm going to say in this video. I'll probably have more to say in future decodes, but I just wanted to kind of hit the main points of this lightning falling from heaven symbolism. And thank you guys once again for watching. I appreciate you all. I always love to see your comments, and you guys always have a lot of good feedback. So appreciate you guys. Take care out there. I will see you guys in the next video.